Hey guys, and welcome to Sound of Drop, Fall into Poison. So, we left off where we had just entered the aquarium, and I remembered what the other visual novel was. It was Cursed Sight. I haven't played it yet. I'm just kind of whizzing my way through this one, and trying very hard not to play the other one. I had to take a drink there, but... So, what Cursed Sight was about was, it's basically a visual novel that's about 45,000 words that is a story based on the idea of being able to see other people's fates and changing them and whatnot. And a friend of mine and I were doing a very similar kind of, well, we based off our, we're working on our own visual novel, which is taking a long time because we're both in college, so we have very little time on our hands. And it's still in the planning stages, very much so. But basically, it's based off of the same kind of premise of dealing with fate and how to change it. So I thought that was rather interesting. And it's also incredibly visually appealing, just like this one is. So I recommend you check it out. And whenever I get the Let's Play posted for that one, it'll definitely be on this channel as well. For now, we are playing Sound of Drop, which I'm so psyched about. It's my first horror visual novel! I'm still really excited about that, because, but also, as a fair warning, if you're not very good with gore or violence, apparently there is a warning right at the beginning when you open up this game that you probably shouldn't play it if you get triggered by those kinds of things. So I recommend you don't go any further if you don't desire to see those things. But if you think you'll be fine, or if you are perfectly okay with this sort of thing, then don't worry about it, I guess. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of gore, but I still watch things like Game of Thrones and shit, so fuck, I'm playing the friggin' game that Telltale made on my live streams for Twitch that I do very irregularly, but so I'm okay. I'm not gonna have nightmares, so yeah, just putting that out there for anyone who wasn't aware of that. Shut up, Maybon, I swear to God. She wants to go out, and she's not going out, as we have discussed the last time. So, let's continue. Meh, it figures that the whole "if you come on the day of a full moon and all the water will change into blood" thing is a lie. The water's normal. Of course it is, jeez. Right away, Himeno says so regretfully. Even so, she's still unable to hold back her excitement at having come to the aquarium, and her steps are fittingly light. As we come out of the gate, there are several small tanks nearby. Manton Aquarium's first and foremost celebrated exhibit is the one displaying fish native to Tokyo Bay. There are 4 tanks in this corner, from left to right, each one showing the environments of the river flowing into Tokyo Bay. Brackish waters, shoals, and open water come one right after the other. Himeno giggles at rockfish, porgy, and other fish we recognized from the supermarket are also there. This booth also showcases environmental problems in order to prompt consciousness of the issue, causing a tightening in my chest. Water pollution is a serious problem. Tomorrow I think I'll try asking Mom to use a little less detergent. Suddenly it got like this. Himeno's reaction is the polar opposite of mine. Even as I'm reading the panels, she's uninterested in the display. Just like that, I read every last panel. Himeno has long since stopped watching me, crossing her arms and puffing out her cheeks. Thanks for waiting, Himeno. Jeez, you're too serious, Mayu. If you act like that the whole time, the day will be over. They'll close. It'll be fine. This area isn't that big, and it's not like I'm going to read everything. As soon as she hears what I said, an expression of dissatisfaction appears on Himeno's face. Well, let's head to the next area. Next is the tunnel tank. There might be ghosts, or maybe that'll be with the human-like fish? Jeez, come on already. Even saying something like that upon entering the aquarium, I had begun to enjoy myself. Upon cheerfully calling out to Himeno, my previous unease has disappeared, leaving me ready to move forward with a light step. Amazing! Really amazing. And pretty. With no door to partition this booth and the next passing beside this tank took us to the next one, where larger breeds of fish swim about. This is no ordinary tank, but rather a giant tube-like tunnel with the left and right sides connected above our heads in an arc. As we walk through the tunnel, we're able to watch the fish moving about in 3 dimensions. We bring our faces as close as we can to the glass, giving the illusion that we're in the ocean. Just watching the mantas, the rays, the various types of sharks, and the sea turtles can be intoxicating for us humans. When I was a child, I thought the ceiling might crack, but now I pass that feeling up, leaving only the throbbing of my heart. The water is a giant bundle of blue, various colors within it shooting every which way. Being able to see how big they are up close, separated by mere centimeters of glass, is so impressive it gives me the greatest realization of our shared existence. Here, Himeno's pace slows and she takes her steps one by one. Hey Mayu, look at these huge fangs! Himeno, that fish is cute too! Wow, the stingray's face is creepy! Really? I think it's cute. Ah, Manta, it's huge! That little one over there looks yummy. Talking as the words come to us, our conversation seems out of sync. Our feelings of being touched, however, are the same, and Himeno's enjoyment is obvious. Being surrounded by the water and the fish as we are, we feel as though we're freed from any sense of time. Mayu, doesn't this ray's face look human? Maybe so. It does! The mystery of the human-faced fish is solved! Naturally. Well, if you're okay with it, then so am I. Thus we learned the true nature of one of the urban legends. I was fine either way, but for Himeno, this was probably best. This way is probably best. Though from Himeno's enthusiastic stance, even as she watches the fish, she probably realizes just how implausible it all is. Rather than get tired of it, though, I am having fun. We move leisurely through the tunnel, coming to a stop at the center. Up to this point, only the big things have caught our eyes, but on closer inspection of the tank, there's also sand piled up to our knees, with shrimp, shellfish, small fish, and other such creatures dwelling there. Compared to the manta rays, the small shrimp, which can't even be considered child-sized, seem so cute and innocent as they swim about, breaking through the sand. Shut up, cat! You're fucking in heat, you want to go outside, and it's not fucking happening! She's driving me insane. She's like this constantly. She's been like this for like 2 fucking weeks. Shut up! I'm glad you're home, because I'm glad you're safe. But you can't annoy me like this. You're not going out. Hey, look, Himeno. Ah, it's tiny! As I expected, Himeno has followed the human-faced ray, and on seeing my fingertips, speaks in a playful tone. Upon sensing the tremors from Himeno poking the glass, the ray kicks at the sand and flees deeper into the tank. Man, it's gone now. As I say this to Himeno, I smile at a small shrimp. Himeno does the same, smiling wildly. Widely. Cannot say that. Before long, the two of us are looking up at the ceiling, toying with the question of just how high it is. Even looking up, we can only see the fish swimming, never the ceiling itself. Looking up from the bottom of the sea, one would normally see the rays of the sun piercing the water, but looking up here was the opposite, with the bottom of the sea seeming to continue forever. It could have been the reflection of the light, or the ceiling really might have been too high. As I realize I can't be sure, my eyes settle on a small but characteristically long-nosed shark swimming past. Sharks. Sharks? That's a ray, isn't it? You just saw it from behind earlier. As soon as I mutter that, Himeno responds. It's true that although I'm interested in this type, Himeno is fixated on the human-faced ray. Oh. Huh? What's up? Himeno asks, but I falter. This conversation gives me a sense of what you might call déjà vu. How strange. I felt as if I've had this conversation before. At that moment, my vision has dyed ultramarine. Oh. Oh! What is going on? Huh? It was no longer Himeno in front of me, but someone else that had caught my attention. This can't be real? Hey, Mayu! The ultramarine color unchanged. Within it, a face like mine passes before me. A face like mine from 5 years ago. Wearing an ultramarine overcoat that merges with the color of my vision, the girl turns to me and seems to be giving me a gentle smile. Mayu! Wait! Mari... Without hearing Himeno calling me back, I start running. We haven't finished looking at everything in the tube tunnel tank, but there's something more important right in front of me. Long hair that looks almost transparent, a thick blue coat, cute boots with fur on them. There was no way I could forget that outfit. That's because it was the outfit my little sister, Nakanobe Mari, wore when she went missing here 5 years ago. The girl quickens her pace as if playing with me and disappears out the other side of the tunnel. There are hardly any people there, but I lose sight of her between the shadows of the tank in the corner. Mari, how? Why? Hey, Mayu, wait! Breathing heavily, Himeko chases after me. I say sorry and break away from her, searching for the vision of Mari. As I come out of the tunnel, I survey the area, spotting a winter skirt nearby. I chase after that swaying form. Behind me, I can hear the intensity of Himeno's rushing steps and quicken my pace. Ah! Having fallen into a trance, I realize what's going on when I slam into someone and fall on my backside. The girl clicks her tongue as she picks up what she had dropped. As I start to say, "Excuse me," to her, she's already moving past me and running off somewhere. Because of that brief incident, I'm unable to find my way out of my confusion. Anyway, Mari. I feel bad about the person I'd run into, causing me to feel flustered. In that exchange, I lose sight of both that long hair and that long skirt. But you were going this way, right? I'm not sure myself where I'm running to, but I think you can say I'm definitely running with all my heart. I pass between more tanks and I can remember, but I don't pay them one bit of attention. I just continue following Mari's back, running. Mari is just as bashful as she was the day she disappeared. Mayu, get a hold of yourself! Those few words end my chase. To be more accurate, it was ended by Himeno herself, who had grabbed my wrist. Huh? You suddenly took off, and you wouldn't turn around no matter how many times I called you. Even when you dropped something, you had no idea. What happened all of a sudden? Wait, Himeno, if I can go after Mari, I'll explain everything, so... Hold it! I look back at Himeno upon hearing her extremely hurt voice. I see tears forming in Himeno's eyes, and I turn my whole body to face her. I stand in silence like this for several seconds. If I tell Himeno about Mari, I'm sure she will regret bringing me to Mansion Aquarium. When she followed me, she had to have seen Mari. It's natural that she would have some misgivings about me chasing some total stranger, since she doesn't know Mari. Even so, I'm not sure what to say. If I apologize now and play dumb, we can probably go back to playfully searching the aquarium for information. But that is not something I can do. It isn't the similarities that are the problem. Mari is here, and just as she had been on that day, there is no way I can go home without taking her with me. Mayu, tell me what's going on. Who is Mari? Why do you keep running off without saying anything? Tears are pouring out of Himeno's eyes. I can't understand why she's so sad. But still, my little sister, she was here. Little sister? See, the girl I was chasing, she's my little sister. Mari disappeared 5 years ago at this aquarium. Looking at Himeno's tear-stained face, I no longer feel like hiding anything. Perhaps in the depths of my consciousness, I'm hoping Himeno will become satisfied and say she wants to look for Mari with me. I'll explain in more detail later. On top of that, when I look back once more, Himeno squeezes my hand and holds me back. This is the gentlest, but the strongest that she's held my hand. Himeno stares into my eyes, then tilts her head to the side. What do you mean? You were chasing someone? I told you, the little girl that was in front of me, wearing that ultramarine coat and the boots, remember? That was Mari, exactly how she looked long ago. Mayu, snap out of it! Himeno shouts. It isn't simply a loud voice, but one weighed down with great sadness. It definitely gets through to me, but that doesn't mean it will stop me. Because without a doubt, I was right. Mari had been right before my eyes, so I had to chase... Let's just say that, even if this Mari girl is here, she would have been grown in 5 years, and her clothes wouldn't be the same. It's summer, so she wouldn't be wearing a coat. Moreover, she was here! I saw her! No, Mayu, no! Mayu, you weren't chasing anyone. You just took off running, leaving me behind, okay? Could you just calm down for a bit? Our tickets will get us back in, so how about some cocoa in the rest area? I think you're tired since you were a little shaky earlier. Himeno seems pretty frantic, so I know she isn't lying just to persuade me. But there's no way that my seeing Mari there was a lie. That's why I start to speak without really knowing what I want to say. Himeno. Mayu, okay? Wiping away her tears, Himeno smiles at me. Surely she has plenty of strong feelings about this whole thing. I'm sure she has loads to say about me keeping the Mari thing and my reason for resisting visiting Mansion Aquarium quiet. Even so, it seems as though Himeno has accepted me. She just smiles and lets it go. That's probably right. Surely if we're by the entrance, we'll know if Mari comes out. Mayu, that's good. That's right, that's more like you. Let's go have some cocoa and you can tell me everything. As she smiles, Himeno once again takes my hand into her soft palm. Oh, that's right, you dropped this. You gotta be more careful. With the hand that isn't holding my own, she hands me something small. It's a keychain. The blue droplet shape is inlaid with stardust and also holds a starfish charm. It isn't exactly rare, being a giveaway item. But why did Himeno have it? Only questions arise in my mind. When that keychain was... On thinking about it, I instinctively shake off Himeno's hand. Hey, what are you doing? After I picked it up for you and all. Himeno's voice is like an arrow piercing through me. The pain in my chest is nothing more than discomfort. What is Himeno saying? That isn't mine, so I can't possibly have dropped it. And now, I can't look at Himeno's face. Uh-oh. Liar. Huh? Liar? That's not mine. It isn't something I dropped. It was Mari's. Mari dropped it. That can't be. I'm not lying. Really, there was no Mari-chan, so she couldn't have dropped the keychain. Himeno was becoming gruff as she continued. Really? Isn't it you who's lying? No one else is here. That's enough. Himeno, you dummy. Saying only that, I turned my back on Himeno. When I glanced back, Himeno's shocked expression is getting further away. She was there. Mari had definitely been there. Because the keychain Himeno had, it belonged to Mari. There was no way I could forget. It was just before Mari went missing. Huh. Alright. For the two of you, just this once. Upon saying that, Mom handed us each 100 yen coins. That day was a cold winter day. At the Manton Aquarium souvenir area, the smell of construction lingered faintly in the air. There were manta and penguin stuffed animals, stationery with the logo on it, and various souvenirs. At the entrance to that souvenir stand, there were the gacha machines containing that keychain. I don't remember all of the various types, but Star Sand was packed in the plastic drops, and the charms were all modeled after fish at the aquarium. It was fairly typical for a gacha, but at that time it seemed very enticing to me. It was the same for Mari, and we gazed into the gacha machine. Mari was the only one who would usually beg our parents at this point, but neither of us had bought a souvenir, and both of us said we wanted the keychains. Since Mom couldn't be completely broken, she emphasized the one-time only bit. Yay! Mari held out both hands with glee while I probably just smiled. I remember that inside. I was just as happy. As to which of us went first, it was of course the more assertive Mari. She was always like this, a cheerful and inquisitive child. How cute, Mr. Star! Mari got a starfish charm keychain. At this point, Mari still didn't know the difference between a starfish and a star. I was next to get one. It was a pink drop with a jellyfish charm. Ah, jellyfish. Ah, that's the one I wanted most. Mari pointed the index finger at her tiny hand, exclaiming in a loud voice. Mari was just learning how to use first person when she mentioned herself. Instead of a normal I or me, she said it slowly. Hey, big sister, trade me... No way, I want this one. Naturally, as I had already fallen in love with that design, I obstinately turned her down. Upon begging my mother for one more time, my mother, who had warned us earlier, held her purse strings tight, leaving Mari to sulk. Fine, stupid big sister. Without listening to my mother's admonishments, she ran off. Sulking after being called stupid, I naturally didn't chase her right away. My mother, being optimistic about the aquarium's small size, also waited a while to go looking for Mari. And I bet that's when she disappeared. And now all I'm left with are my regrets. If only I'd gone after her sooner. If only I'd traded her keychains in the first place. Even so, the past is unchanging, and I am left with only my regrets to bear. So in case I could ever trade with Mari again, I've stubbornly carried around that keychain, the one with the pink droplet shape and the jellyfish charm, like a treasure. I rummaged through my bag, seeking to feel the keychain in my hand. Huh? Why? At a time like this, I had forgotten to bring it. The keychain wasn't in the bag nor in my pockets. Huh? A sigh naturally slipped out of my body. After all, I've lost sight of Mari and strayed from Himeno. Himeno has the building map, so there's nothing I can do. Huh? At that moment, a pungent aroma floats by and causes me to speak in surprise. Unable to bear the irritating stench, I pinch my nose. Still, the stench seems to twist in my nose. It's made of the smell of sewage, sulfur, and the nauseating stink of vinegar. Oh. As soon as I try to get away from the smell, something soft creeps along the bottom of my foot. As I hesitantly look down, I realize the true identity of the putrid odor. It's a corpse. I'm not sure what type, but it's as big as my arm span. The body is slowly decaying and hasn't retained its original form, yet by its bulging, round eyes and slightly extended tail fin, I can just barely tell it was a fish. I couldn't tell right away, but it has a silhouette similar to a pirarucu. I feel like I've seen those eerie, glaring eyes characteristic of a freshwater fish. I feel sick. I move my foot slowly, and a small fragment of the corpse sticks to the bottom of my shoe, on the underside of which I notice something wriggling desperately. Oh, gross. The slight sound of flapping wings departs from beside my ear, and I understand that the wriggling thing is an insect. Ah! Shaking, chills run up my spine as if someone had pressed ice to it. I take a step back and drop my cell phone. The phone reacts with a backlight and LCD screen coming on, illuminating the dead body. The syrupy, dead body absorbs the light, and the winged insect that flees to avoid it. There is also a meandering white nematode that seems not to notice. The backlight soon disappears, leaving its stench amidst the darkness. The shadows of those hideous insects are scorched into my retinas, and they sway like the light off a heat haze in the darkness. Something was creeping up from the pit of my stomach. I'll endure it, because I don't fucking throw up over jack shit. I immediately shut my mouth, enduring what had come up. The intermingled acidic taste of the vomit that had come up, and the sense of stomach acid lingering in my nostrils mixed with saliva, and caused my eyes to water in pain. Why was it so painful? I can't figure out the answer to my doubts. Not at all. I cover my eyes with both hands. I shouldn't have made it if I didn't. But shutting out my vision leaves my sense of smell, causing the smell of rotten water and the stench of the dead body to become more intense, so I uncovered my eyes. No. What is this? This is a place for the customers. Is it really alright for me to be here? On top of that, I was in the middle of chasing Mari, wasn't I? No, that isn't the problem. It's strange enough that there is a place like this in the middle of an aquarium. Anyway, I have to get out of here. The stench is so overpowering, it's as if I can see it. I want to get out of here quickly, satisfying myself with the argument that it's a garbage dump or something, and that if I only get away, I'll be fine. At any rate, I can go back the way I came. No, that's no good. I might run into Himeno. At this moment, I don't want to see her face. My eyes having adjusted a bit to the darkness, I search for a way out. Here the tanks are broken, the little remaining water stinking, and the bodies of living things have tumbled out here and there. I think about how happy I am that I can't see. Even so, to find the exit, I'll have to look around. My nose has begun to go numb, and thanks to that, I'm somehow able to retain my sanity. Before long, I find a dim emergency light behind one of the tanks and head towards it as if it were the last hope I could cling to. Oh, gross. I feel squishing several times beneath my feet, but I try to ignore it and move on. As I move towards the emergency light, it seems the smell is becoming faint. I get used to the scattered shards of glass and the rotten fish corpses just before I reach the door. The tip of my shoe feels as if it has kicked something hard, something different from before. Wondering what I had kicked, I casually looked down. No. No. I get the sensation that all the blood has stopped flowing through me and that my heart has stopped completely. The round thing I kicked has patches of hair, 2 eyes, a nose with a bone to it, and a mouth. Altogether, it is a human face. Speaking accurately, it's a head rather than a face. It's completely lifeless and rolls away with a flopping sound when my foot touches it. Seeing the state the head is in, I begin to feel ill again, despite having finally calmed down from before. Of the white cranium, only the forehead area seems to be exposed. It seems this is new and has only just begun to decay. No, for starters. There is no way a human head should be rolling around here. It's my imagination, or it has to be from some model. I haven't yet looked in the direction it was rolling. Convincing myself that it isn't a human head, it really is different, so there was no satisfying myself. I placed my hands on the door in an attempt to escape. Unable to control my shaking hands, it takes 3 tries before I can open the door. It's a heavy fire door that is usually open. I step inside with my thoughts racing, and the atmosphere changes completely once more. I can hear the sound of the door closing behind me. Inside is a very clean place. The transparent water is tinted a faint blue, and inside float fantasy-like jellyfish. Countless pillar-shaped tanks are spread around, and the water shimmers as it reflects the light of the fluorescent lamp. Red and yellow, green and purple, the jellyfish body is diffusing light like a prism. In spite of the strange space I have reached, I am fascinated by the shimmering live art display. Himeno, I mutter without thinking. Then I quickly shake my head, erasing the image of Himeno's face that appears in my mind. Earlier, she didn't come after me. After all, Himeno chose on her own to part ways from me. I'm sure it's because she dislikes me now. It isn't something I should worry about. Even at a quick glance, I can see that there are various types of jellyfish in the tank. Having made efficient use of the small space is a charming area. It vividly expresses the starry skies, as is fitting of the name Manton Aquarium. Compared to the earlier Fish of the World booth, this one isn't the least bit in decay. I wonder if Mari came this way. Going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here. I have to press on. I feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I'll go back. Oh dear. It's probably not a good idea to turn back. But if it's a human face I found. But I don't know. Oh no. What should I do? You know what? I'm gonna see what happens when I go for Himeno, but before I do, I'm gonna save in a different spot. I feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I'll go back. Upon thinking whether or not it's alright for just me to enjoy something so pretty, I reach for the door behind me. Even though we fought, Himeno and I are friends. Sharing such a lovely memory will surely help us make up quickly. I step forward, and it is at that moment. Huh? When I open the door and step through, there is no Fish of the World booth. Before I can even rationalize the scene before me, I'm pulled in by some sort of swell. Ah! Trying to figure out what's wrong, I realize I'm having trouble getting air. I really want air, so I pause for breath. My mouth fills with a fishy stench, brine, seawater. I know from the salty taste that I've swallowed seawater. The reason I can't breathe is because all around me is ocean water. I understand that I'm in the ocean, devoid of light. No light and no sound in the darkness. Wondering why, I move my limbs. At this rate, I'll drown. It hasn't been more than a minute since I got pulled under the sea. How many seconds have passed at this point? No, that isn't it. I have to get above water. However, up to this point, there has been no light overhead, and I'm forced into an inevitable battle with my despair. I frantically endure my suffocation, swimming higher and higher. Suddenly being thrown into the water hasn't thrown off my sense of up or down, as the desire to live serves as an instinct to guide me upward. I still can't see, but I'm alright. Just like that, I seem to have answered my own question. I can feel the clothes I'm wearing becoming heavy. However, if I have time to shed my clothes, then I have time to continue upward. My thinking is that alone. I've heard there is high pressure in the deep part of the ocean that crushes any living thing, but my body is completely fine. That means where I am at the moment shouldn't be that deep. If I swim hard enough, I should make it. I just have to hit the surface and take a deep breath. How many seconds have passed at this point? I have no sense of time whatsoever in this darkness. Even so, I know that some time has passed since I was thrown into the ocean. A minute probably passed a while ago. Here my consciousness has begun to fade. Immediately after I see the darkness of death, a small light illuminates the tip of my nose. Because I have been swimming so frantically, I haven't noticed, but it seems as though I have gone up quite a ways. It will be alright. The surface is close. I reach out my hand. I reach out towards that light. That's all I can do. That's because my legs won't move. No matter how frantically I try to move them, my legs won't even quiver. It feels as if something has ensnared them. It has the elasticity of a bottomless trampoline. From the tips of my toes to my rear end, that soft sensation wraps tightly around me. I want to think this is a lie. No, I've actually decided I will not believe it. That a giant octopus has wrapped itself around my legs. Its gum-like suckers are the size of the palm of my hand. I can't even imagine how large its entire body is. The light is getting farther away. My eyes have already closed. For some reason, Himeno's smiling face floats before me, though it should be her angry face that I see last. Just like that, I'm in darkness. As much as it has tightened up, my legs have lost all feeling. No wonder. My legs are no longer what they once were. With the depletion of my oxygen supply, my brain has already changed into a machine for merely processing my situation. Within the darkness, it dispassionately communicates my non-existent will to my four limbs, which have lost all sensation. It won't be long before the only thing I can sense is darkness. That's because I've already become part of that darkness. Into the silent abyss. I think I just got one of the bad endings. Yeah, I did. That's a cute little animation for it, though. Well, guess going back is a bad idea. Guess I just will go forward then. However, what does it say? Into the silent abyss. That's the first one I can come across out of, like, a butt ton. So, okay. Good to know. I will just reload. Going back is dangerous, so I'm gonna press on. Going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here. I have to press on. And so I start towards the starry sky. And that's where I'm gonna end it, because I'm cruel, and also my cat is really pissing me the fuck off because she won't fucking shut up. And she might have popped up on the audio a few times because of that. She's in heat, and I don't have her spayed yet, and she's being a little motherfucker. So, yeah. I guess I will deal with that any way I can. Any way that I can that is humane. Anyway, there isn't really much I can do other than just grin with gritted teeth and bear with it and not go fucking insane, which isn't proving to be very difficult. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one, because this is getting rather interesting. Later! I swear to God, I am going to fucking kill you. Like, not actually, because I know, but I want to, because you're being so fucking annoying. Shut up! Shut up! No, you're not getting any pets. You're being a little shit. Fucking cat. I am going to fucking kill you. Shut up! Oh, how does anyone deal with a cat in heat and not go fucking insane? I swear, I'm going to stuff you in a fucking box. Oh my God, come here. Come here. Just shush up. Could you just shut up for like 10 minutes, half an hour, something, I swear. If you want to talk to the friggin' mic? Huh? You want to do that? No, you're all shut up now, aren't you? Yeah, you're all quiet because I'm holding you and you don't like it when you're held. I am going to fucking kill you. Would you shut the fuck up? Shut up. No, you're not getting any attention. You're being a little brat. Jesus.